YouTube, it's Kathy, and this is my weekly entertainment wrap-up for December 10th through 16th. This week I read one book, I watched 4 shows, I watched 1 concert, and I listened to 1 book. First this week I finally got around to reading Heartstopper Volume 4 because I read the 3rd volume last week during the Queer Lit Readathon and I wanted to catch up before the 5th volume comes out. I didn't expect to just randomly start crying during this volume, but that definitely happened just because of the bond of this friendship group. Being the 4th volume, I don't really want to get into it. You obviously probably already know what Heartstopper is because I've talked about it before, and I'm definitely not the only person to talk about it. But there was just this one particular part where everybody just really wanted to help somebody out, and out of nowhere I just started crying about it. It just kind of hit me right in the heart. This is obviously a difficult volume because there are certain things that are happening with mental health issues for the characters in this, so know that going into it. But my goodness, this whole cast is just like a warm hug, and I really enjoy this, and I'm very excited for the next volume. I definitely pre-ordered it, so I should have it pretty soon after the release date, hopefully. Also, I'm really sorry if my voice is a little bit scratchy. We had a birthday party here last night, and there was somebody actually sleeping in this room, which is why I'm filming this a little bit later than I usually would, and then I have to jet off to the gym and then come back to edit it. So that's just how life goes. About the party last night, I also got dressed up a little bit fancy, and I put on these fake nails that my sister-in-law made, and they're book themed because she knows me and she loves me, and she sent me these nails basically because she's just working on her skills and wanted to send me something cool, so I wanted to show them to you because they're adorable. Oh, also, yeah, I did dye my hair yesterday. This is what it looks like now. This is not a wig. All of the shows I watched, we're still in the 7th season of Taskmaster. We're still very, very much enjoying it. And funnily enough, the other day, Chad was scrolling on his phone and found like a screen cap from the Great British Bake Off, I'm pretty sure is what it's from. And he's like, wait, is this No More Jobs? Because he always forgets James Acaster's name, but he just calls him No More Jobs because of one joke in his comedy routine. And I'm like, yeah, it's No More Jobs. So it's just fun to be watching that season right now when he found this one thing he wanted to show me. I of course also stayed current on this week's episode of Canada's Drag Race, which was the Snatch game. Again, I listened to a lot more of this than I actually watched because again, I cross-stitch and that takes your eyeballs away from things, but I am continuing to enjoy it in my own way. I did think it was very funny that 2 people decided to do the same Snatch game character, and one of them definitely did a better job than the other one, and I was really happy it was the older queen that did a better job because the younger queen basically thought she was going to do a better job because she was younger, and I'm like, no, that's not how that works. This week, Chad and I also started a very big undertaking, a thing that I've been meaning to do but I've always put off for a very, very long time, and that's we finally started watching Doctor Who. We are 4 episodes into it. We did previously start trying to watch it like a decade ago, and I think that the episodes were out of order because I do not remember anything from these first 4 episodes from when we watched Eccleston episodes, and then we skipped forward to Tennant, and I was like, oh yeah, this is why people like this show, David Tennant. However, now that we're watching the episodes in order, I guess it's making a little bit more sense. One of the big things about this show, and the reason I've always put off watching it, is you can't actually watch all of it. There's a bunch of episodes from the before times, before they rebooted it, that you just can't actually see, and there's not a lot of context given for certain things, which I just find super annoying, personally. But about 13 of the seasons are up on one of the streaming services we have now, so we can do this. And we can do this in order, which will definitely help my enjoyment. Also, I really enjoy Billie Piper, so it's nice to see her again. And then also see a bunch of British actors that you know from other things, like Sean's mom from Shaun of the Dead. This week I also watched the first 8 episodes of the 19th season of Grey's Anatomy because I realized that Netflix has the 19th season now, and I was like, perfect, this is where I was? Good. I'm glad I take detailed notes about what I watch and when, because I was able to take those notes and put them into a Word document and then scan through them with the find and replace to be like, where was I in Grey's Anatomy? What did I get to the end of 18? Because I didn't want to read a bunch of synopses and then ruin things for myself. This is a fun season. Obviously, we have a bunch of new characters coming in, and you can see how they're kind of like the 5 people that we started the show with. And we also get to see all these other characters that we know and what they're doing in their lives now. There's always lots going on, and I definitely appreciate how the show is talking about Roe v. Wade being overturned and what that looks like from a medical perspective. I don't usually talk about music on here, mostly because I don't listen to a lot of music, but I also at some point this week thought I might not finish my audiobook and figured I should throw in the concert I attended here to just kind of let you know my experience of going to this concert. It was a lot of fun, actually. The concert in question was the Crash Test Dummies, which if you're going, is that still a band? Yes. That was the first thing that was asked by my roommate's boyfriend when we said we were going to this concert. Also, I wanted to let you know that I went to this concert because that's one of the reasons I haven't done a lot of reading this week. The other reason being I read 10 things last week for the Queer Lit Readathon, so I basically have to recharge my reading batteries. And speaking of the Queer Lit Readathon, the 2024 dates have been announced, so I will link that video down below for you. Anyway, this is a band where I've definitely heard a bunch of their songs before. Chad has a bunch of his albums, sometimes we play them in the car, and this was their Jingle All the Way tour, so they were doing some Christmas stuff, but they were also doing songs that they're very well known for, and then other songs that I don't think I had heard before, but also very much enjoyed. There was great banter between the band members as well as with the audience. It was just a really good time. And being able to hear certain songs live was just so cool. Also finding out that Superman was the first song that Brad ever wrote was just kind of astonishing because it's iconic. My alarm to get ready for the gym has already gone off, so let's quickly talk about the audiobook that I listened to, which was a very quick one as well. It was called Thornhedge by Kingfisher. This one is only about a 4-hour audiobook, and this one is fantasy, kind of leaning into fairy tales, which is not something I've actually read by this author before, so that was interesting. This is all about this one character who is protecting this tower and has been protecting this tower for hundreds of years, and a knight comes by specifically looking for this tower because he read about it in a book and wants to learn whether or not the stories are true. I very much enjoyed this. I didn't know what I was getting myself into when I went into it, and I could very quickly figure out what fairy tale this was based around, and it was just so interesting to see it through this completely different lens. Which means I'm going to have to continue to read T. Kingfisher's backlog because, yes, apparently I've liked everything by this author so far, no matter what genre. That's it for this week. If you've read, watched, or listened to any of these, let me know about it down in the comments below. On the way down to the comments, if you hit that subscribe button, that would be very nice of you. If you don't feel like leaving a comment but want to make sure that I know you were here, just leave me an emoji or a smiley face if you happen to be on your keyboard. Some people have asked if there's a way to financially support this channel, so I set up a Ko-fi account, which is a digital tipping service. The link for that, as always, is down below. You can like and share this as you see fit, and I will see you very soon. Bye!